Well, this looks a little bit different, doesn't it? You would have thought they'd have got the cleaners in to clean up the tiles in the changing room and whatever. And I think we could do with probably some more plug sockets for the players to charge their iPhones in as well. You know, some of those fancy USB sockets. Looks like we've got a lot of work to do. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is AS Monaco. We have moved from Tokyo to Monaco in Ligue 1. We have finished 6th. I say we, but it's nothing to do with me. But we finished 6th in the league last season. We're going to be in the Europa League this season. At the end of the coming season, next season, we need to be in the top 4. We need to be a Champions League place. Being a team in France, finishing 5th and hoping for a coefficient spot, that's not going to cut it. We need to be in the top 4. The ultimate aim, I suppose, really is, can we topple PSG and can we become champions of France? That would be quite an achievement, considering this season we finished 29 points behind France. If we have a look at the actual league table, we can see that overall this season we conceded 42 goals, so weren't too bad defensively. We scored 56, which isn't great. If we actually look at it from this perspective, in terms of the goals scored, we were actually the 4th best for goals scored and 5th best for goals conceded. So you could say we perhaps should have finished 1 or 2 places higher than where we are. But yeah, overall it is what it is. Danny Namasso was our top goal scorer. He is on loan from Porto and he's going to be leaving in about 2 weeks' time to go back to Porto. So yeah, we're going to be missing him. If we actually look at our squad, we don't have the biggest squad. We did go through this briefly yesterday. We have a squad of 23 players. 2 of those are going to be leaving, which takes us to a squad of 21. We only have 1 goalkeeper, so we definitely need another goalkeeper. I'd like to say we need to have a backup goalkeeper, but I don't really think Alexander Bobek is all that good, to be honest. I mean, he's a good height, 6'4". But at the moment, he is our first choice goalkeeper. He's only on £10,500 a week. We'll see what we can potentially do in the transfer market. There are players that are wanted, of course. And if we look at some, so we've got João Muniz here, who's a centre-back, 23 years old. He looks fairly decent, actually, to be honest. I quite like the look of him. He is wanted by Lyon and some Saudi teams. We've got a lot of players that are wanted by other clubs and Saudi teams, whatever. If we get decent offers for them, pretty much anyone is available to go. I mean, for example, Sepp van der Berg, who plays at centre-back, can play at right-back as well to a semi-decent standard. With a crossing of 9, he's probably not the best for being on the attacking part of it, but he's a 6'4" centre-back with great jumping reach and really good heading. 27 years old, so he's not too old. However, if we get a bid of around 70 to 80 million for him, then I would be quite open to selling him. He's not actually wanted by anyone. I'm just using him as an example. So if we look at our transfer values, I mean, Brian Espinoza, I really don't want to let him go. He's 21 years old. He's probably going to be my right back. And I mean, look at this: acceleration, agility, balance, natural fitness, pace, stamina. His physicals are incredible. 20 for determination as well. He can get a cross in. Having him as an attacking fullback, I think, can really, really do us some business. Again, he's not wanted at the moment, and if anyone does come in for him, they will have to match that 130, if not more, £1 million valuation. And you know, let's be honest, if we sell him, we're in a position we don't need to sell anybody else. But I'm not looking at selling him. Same with Christian Garcia, who's a striker, potential 4.5 star. He's a wonder kid. It's the reason why I'm happy to let Namasso go, because I'm happy for him to take the slot up front. What we do need to do before we get into any transfers or anything else is we need to look at the tactic. We need to develop a tactic for the season. I'm going to do 3 tactics. Now, the first one I'm going to do, I'm kind of looking maybe vertical tiki-taka, but we'd have it on a more attacking mentality or positive mentality. 4-3-3 is what we're going to go with. And I'm going to change that from register to anchor on defend. I'm not having inverted wing backs and full backs and all this sort of caper. I want to have a wing back on support and a wing back on attack. Those of you that watch my content, you'll know that's what I love to have. If we can have 2 ball playing defenders on defend as well, might change some of these as we put the players into the squad. But I'm quite happy to have a Mazzala out here that can stray. A box-to-box midfielder, probably will stick with box-to-box. I am kind of wanting to have an advanced playmaker on attack, maybe. But, like, we won't have an inverted winger. We'll have an inside forward on both. He'll be on support because we've got this guy on attack. And then this one will be on attack because we've got him on support. We'll go for an advanced forward in attack. And I am tempted to change that to an advanced playmaker on attack to get him forward. Yeah. Maybe we have an advanced... Do I have an advanced playmaker and a Mazzala? That's the question. We've got some pre-season games where we can see how well this works. What we will now do as well is if we go to quick pick and pick without restrictions, pick best 11. This is, oh my word, there's some dodgy dotted lines around here. We'll try to ignore some of those for the time being. But this is what our assistant managers tell us is our best 11. Now, so Christian Garcia would come in here because might as well take him out. He's not going to be here next season, neither's this guy here, so we take him out as well. So that is basically what our squad, our assistant manager says is their best 11. Fofana, Musa and Pukstas, something like that. What's it? Rokas. This guy here is a Mazzala anyway. If we want to change him, it's not really giving us an option for what the best choice is. So, here's another left back for us. He's 31. I mean, anyone that's in their 30s, I am tempted to let go, I've got to be honest. Now, Salisu, we know, is probably a best centre-back. He's 30. He is wanted. Again, someone comes in for 70, 80 million pound for him. I'm happy to let him go. Now, looking at, we have got Mbolo, who can play on the right, on the left, or up top. He is primarily a striker. He used to be known for having a lot of pace, but he's 32 years old nowadays. So I just want to get the bench sorted out. So I'm going to get the bench sorted out. I'm going to get my other 2 tactics set up, and I'll come back to you to show you what they all look like. Okay, here we are. So we've got a team kind of sorted out. This is my best 11 in the positions that I want them in. So we've got the sweeper keeper on support. We've got wing backs on support and attack. Ball playing defenders on defend. We've got the anchor on defend with the Mazzala on support. Attacking playmaker on attack to get forward and help Garcia out. Then we've got the inside forwards on each flank and then Garcia up top. I've got the bench in the order of what I think the best players are. And between Zakaria and Mahia for the midfield options, they can kind of cover the anchor and the Mazzala. They can at a push do an advanced playmaker, but I think we need to try and find someone that can do that role and bring them in as part of our transfer. Goalkeeper is an absolute must. We have to get a goalkeeper. I'm probably going to look at trying to replace Bobek as our number 1. What's he's got a slight concern about? Wants a new deal to reflect his ability. Right, okay. Yeah, so we're going to get a number 1 goalkeeper. Then I think we need to try and find someone for this role. If it's someone that's going to take Pukstas' place, then I'm up for that. Yunus Musa looks really good for this Mazzala role. He can play in that role as well. So if we can't get an advanced playmaker that we want, then we'll definitely look to get a Mazzala either way to act as cover for Musa. What's going here with Golovan and... Oh, there you go. We've got the wrong way round. So Golovan and Vanderson can play there. We've got Navarro on the bench, Mbolo on the bench as well, and Amal Bura can kind of do a job as can Gustav Isaacson. But the goalkeeper will come first, then the midfielder, either an advanced playmaker or a Mazzala. And then we kind of then need to just see what is available, what money we have left. Looking at the finances, we've got £15.5 million in the transfer budget, and in terms of wage budget, we've got £85,000 left in the wage budget. We are now in a position where we've got the tactic in place, and we can now set up our set pieces. So I'll always go the same: hybrid. We want someone marking the near post. We want balanced. We want them to be delivered to the near post. How many players do you want to leave back? We go balanced on that one, and we select in swinger. Our assistant manager is going to set all this up for us. We then click that onto attack, come into here, create new routine. So we've already got our near post in swinger. So we want our far post in swinger. We're going to select near post in swinger as more often and far post in swinger as less often. Okay, then we select a third one, which I'm going to go with a central in swing on this occasion. So we've not got any set up for short. So let's see during the course of the games. Shared with the backroom staff is exactly how I have it. So that is all set up the way I want it to be. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to have a look at the scouting centre, because scouted players, we have got some in here. Let's filter this by the recommendations. And looking at it, there's no immediate goalkeepers that are springing to mind. There's no immediate midfielders as well, for that matter. So if we go into search, go on to goalkeeper, we would like them to be a sweeper keeper, and select OK, and absolutely nothing is coming up. If we select that as any, we've got the age between 15 and 27, any contract status, and we are getting no searches for goalkeepers. Right, let's cancel that a minute. Let's go to the recruitment focus, and we want to get a goalkeeper, basically. So transfer loan, minimum current ability, let's set that as that. Age between 15 and 27, we don't want anyone too old. I suppose as it's a goalkeeper, we probably can go to 30. Any areas, top priority, 4 scouts will be assigned. It is a top priority as well. And yeah, goalkeeper, that's fine. Confirm. Right, so we've got that set up already. I'm going to set up some more recruitment focuses. I'm going to have a bit of a look through, see what we can find. I'll come back to you when we get probably to the 1st of July, when players have left and players have come in and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, I'll bring you back around the 1st of July. Right, we are making progress with player sales. There's no one come in yet, but in terms of player sales, we had an email come through about players in the last year of their contracts. Mohamed Salisu, who's one of our star centre-backs, let's be honest, he's in the last year of his contract, or no, he's got 2 years to go, sorry, in his contract. But there is an interest in him leaving, and we had this club, Al Nassr from Saudi Arabia, come in. They originally come with a £45 million bid. I upped it by all of this to make it a total value of 54 million, which is the top end of his valuation, with 50 million of that being up front. They've come back and they're willing to pay it. So I am accepting that offer. A 30-year-old centre-back is about to leave for £50 million, and that will be a massive bonus for us. We've also had an offer for Dennis Zakaria, who's 32 years old. He is in the last year of his contract. I went to his agent, asked his agent to get a fee for him. There's all these clubs interested. He wants to leave. So as far as I'm concerned, we accept all of those offers. That's another £17.75 million we get coming in for a 32-year-old who's out of contract this summer. That's £67.75 million we have coming in. If we go to the transfer centre and have a look at players out, was there anybody at the back end of last season? No, there wasn't. But on this season so far, we've had a few go out on loan. And Nathan Leandri is one of our youngsters. He went to this club here, ASSE. Oh, Saint Etienne, there you go. He's got a Saint Etienne for £200,000. Could be a useful signing for the future. It didn't really look like he was going to make it for us. So we just decided to cash in on him. There's a couple of loans that have gone out as well. And Simon Bouabri has gone out for £3.5 million. He was already agreed as a sale before I got here. He's gone to Cole. He was there last season on loan, didn't really do a great deal, but they've taken him. So with that 3.5 million added on to what we already had, plus we've had a couple of players that have been sold that were at our club previously, so we've got like £120,000 as a sell-on clause and things like that, has taken our current transfer budget up to 19.6 million. If we get that other, 67 million coming in, that's going to be 86 million pound transfer budget we're going to have. We can do some business with that. I've got the scouting team out. If we have a look at what I've done here, we've obviously got them going for goalkeepers. I've got them looking for wonder kids, people whose contracts expire in 1 year, and bargains, because you know I love a bargain. But with 80 odd million in the transfer kitty, we could certainly do a lot with that. If we take Salisu out of here, he'll no longer be part of our team, and Golovan will no longer be part of our team, and Dennis Zakaria, who was on the subs bench, he will no longer be part of our team anyway, or either. So we need a backup goalkeeper. We need, I mean, in terms of centre-backs, we've got this guy here that can certainly come in. He's a 22-year-old with a bit of potential as well. He's 6'5". He's got 18 for jumping reach. His head needs a bit of work, but he's got 16 for concentration, 16 for leadership, 16 for positioning. He looks a very decent player with some absolutely awesome physicals, and physicals matter in Football Manager this year. As a replacement for them as well, we've also got João Muniz, who, if we pop him in there, is the same. There's very little to choose between them. I think they're both left-footed. What's Muniz? Yeah, left. They're both left only. So if we can bring in a right-footed centre-back, then that means we've got cover for Sepp van der Berg as well, maybe even a replacement for Van der Berg, depending on how he performs. So a goalkeeper, a centre-back. We need to invest in their midfield, because we've only really got Daniel Mahia, who's okay, he's decent, he can do a job. If we can get a couple of maybe even replacements for those in here, that would be awesome. We need an inside forward on the left. At the moment, Robert Navarro can certainly fit that role. I've had him with me at Sampdoria in one of my rebuilds, as I said in Friday's video, and he can certainly do a job there. I think we also need a backup striker as well, because we've got nobody else that can play up front if Garcia gets injured. So we'd be looking at, I mean, Bril Embolo, can do that, but I'll probably be looking at a bit more of a better replacement than him. So there's business to be done. There's business that is being done. And again, I'll bring you back when we've got a bit more news. What I will show you, though, is our fixtures. We've got a whole range of friendlies being put in. And we're also playing Man City and Aston Villa. We were due to play Liverpool here, but I cancelled it because I was just like, I don't want to be getting beaten by Man City, Liverpool. And Liverpool, my last friendly before the season starts, I like to be against, why is this playing up again? I like it to be against an easy team so we can get confidence going. In terms of our start to the season, we have Rennes away from home, Auxerre at home, Havre AC at home, Lyon away, and Metz at home as their first 5 league fixtures. Then Reims away from home as well. So I think we've actually got a pretty kind start to life at Monaco. Rennes away will be tough. They're usually a European team. Lyon will obviously be tough because they're usually a Champions League team, and that's away from home as well. But Auxerre, Havre, Metz, and I'll say Reims as well, Lorient, Strasbourg, they're all winnable games. I'm quite happy with the way the fixture list has started us out. On the other side of it, when we finish, our last 5 games are going to be against Paris Saint-Germain, Brest, Toulouse, Nice and Havre. Again, not a bad end to the season either. If we have a look at the season preview and see where, because I haven't actually looked at this yet, to see where they think we're going to finish, they've got us finishing 4th, which if we finish 4th, I'll be happy with that, because that's a Champions League place. Right, I'll get back to you when there's more news of players coming in and players going out. Well, Golovin's not going anywhere. He's rejected the offer from Al Hazem. So our 17.75 million that we were going to be getting for him is no longer going to be happening. I don't think he's in discussions with anybody else. No, he's rejected. Yeah, it's just Al Hazem, so he's rejected that. So that is quite disappointing, I have to say. We've still got Zakaria and Salisu that should be leaving, hopefully. So that's 50 million and... Oh, these are 7. So what was Golovan then? He was 25 million, okay. So, yeah, we're not going to be getting the 25, but we still stand to get the 50 and the 17. I'm happy for Golovan to stay, but he is in the last year of his contract, so probably will be letting him go on a free at the end of the season. But still got Salisu and Zakaria to stay. I want to show you dynamics because team cohesion is good, club atmosphere is very good, managerial support is poor. It may be early days, but the players are going to take some convincing to get past your lack of experience. When I clicked on the hierarchy, last time I clicked on it, there's 5 players that actually opposed me. If we click on it now, well, it's down to 3. I mean, Zakaria is still one of them. But, I mean, he could be going. Salisu is another one. He could be going as well. So it would only be Bril Embolo left that actually opposes me. But, I mean, I suppose that's an improvement from 5 to 3. But, yeah, just a bit disappointed that they think so little of me. But I suppose my lack of experience is a fair concern for them to have, I suppose. Right, let's move further forward and I'll come back to when I've actually got some proper news. This has been a real struggle. This has been a struggle and a half. Right, we're at game day now. It's Saturday, 3 o'clock, 11th of August. We're about to kick off against Stade Rennais. We are classed as the favourites for this, even though we are away from home. So that's quite promising. Let's go and have a look at the transfers and the transfer history. Well, we'll go through the free incoming or the free players we got in shortly. But in terms of players that go out, you knew about Leandri going out for £200,000. You knew about Bouabry going out for 3.5 million. And I think you knew about Ray and Muller going to Rems for 300,000, rising to 350. Zakaria completed his move to Damac for 17.75 million. And Salisu completed his move to Al Nassr for 54 million. Kylian Hubert has gone to Anderlecht for 450,000 as well. A total incoming of 76 million. And total outgoings has been 75 million. So we're actually 1 million in the profit, really. So the first one we got in, Abel Ruiz from Braga for 28 million, rising to 34 million. He can play up front. He prefers to be a striker, but he can play right, left and centre as well. He is 29 years old, so he's probably a year or two older than what I would have looked to have brought in. But looking at the quality that he's got, his physicals are insane as well. Looking at his quality, I just think he was a good signing to bring in. He really gives us attacking options, especially with the sale of Zakaria and Salisu and whatever else. We've got that finishing potential up there with Abel Ruiz. Then we brought in Bart Verbruggen, solved their goalkeeping problem. Same Bart Verbruggen that's currently at Brighton in real life and doing pretty decently with them for him. He went to Lorient for 15 million. They've then sold him on to us for 18 million. I think he's a really good goalkeeper. He is their new number one. I'm sure Bobek will be a bit disappointed by that, but oh well. He comes in for 18 million, rising to 22. I think that's a really good price for him as well. And then Andre Santos, who at real life, I think is the one at Chelsea. Yeah, he's at Chelsea in real life. He arrived with them in 2022 for 12 million. Never really done anything. Had a series of different loans before eventually going back to Vasco da Gama on a free transfer. And then Vasco da Gama sold him to us for 29 million. So they're making some good money out of that player. So yeah, flat 29 million for him. He can play in either the defensive or the regular midfield roles. I think I've got him listed as my advanced playmaker at the moment. He looks a really good player as well. If we have a look at our schedule at the pre-season friendlies, other than the first one against whoever this team is, we lost 1-0. The rest would be really positive results. Even the 0-0 draw against Manchester City at the Etihad, I would say was also a positive result. I don't know what their team was that they put out there, but Lewis Jr. in goal, Much, Kelly, Ruben, French. I mean, it doesn't look like a massive team, but Ansu Fati, Baturina, Bob, Mateus Nunes, Ruben Diaz, they are all very good players. So the fact that, I mean, they dominated us, there's no doubt about that. But a 0-0 draw against Man City, I'm going to take that as a positive result. Beating Hertha Berlin 5-1, beating Aston Villa 3-1 were also really positive results for us. Beating Saint Etienne 2-1 as well. And yeah, we've got some goals in some of our players. The most recent one was a 5-0 win we had here, which got goals in Musa, Garcia with a hat-trick and Ruiz with a goal as well. So we are looking pretty decent. If we have a look at the competition preview, we were 4th. We're down to 5th now. They've got Lyon, Marseille, Nice and PSG above us. We have Rennes first, who are expected to finish 9th. Then is it Auxerre we have after that are expected to be in the relegation zone. So I think overall we've actually done pretty decently. If we have a look at our squad, other than Bril Embolo that's picked up a slight knock, he's going to be out for 3 more days, but we can bring somebody else in for him. Probably bring this guy. What's this guy? I don't know who this guy is. Oh, I think he's one of our. He was in our reserves team, and he caught the eye in the reserves team, so we brought him in, so he can come into the matchday team. So this will be the team that we're likely to go out and play our first game of the season. In terms of dynamics, it's average now, not poor, so it's getting there. Club atmosphere is very good. Team cohesion is good. We do have Vanderson that wants to leave. I have told him that I'm not going to actively sell him, but if someone comes in for him, I won't stand in his way. He was quite happy with that. If we have a look at the hierarchy, it started off 5 were opposing me, then it was 3. It's now just Bril Embolo, and the fact that he's not going to be a first team regular for us, that could well stay the same. He's got 2 more years left on his contract. We might need to look at selling him by next summer probably. And I think that's probably about it. We'll show you the finance. We have still got 36 million in the transfer budget. Our wage budget, we are fractionally under by about £20,000, but our committed spending is over by about 30,000. In order for us to make any more new signings, we're probably going to need to do something like that, which would take our transfer budget to 28 million and would mean we have 174,000 in the wage budget. I have had a good look through players available to us. If we go to the transfers, there is a player we've got coming in the future, Nahil Cordoba. He plays right, centre, left. He can also play in central midfield as a Mazzala and advanced player. That's kind of where I've got him lined up at the moment. And he looks pretty decent. He's going to be coming in on a free transfer from whatever club he's at the moment. Where is he at the moment? He's at Arsenal, not the Arsenal, but a different Arsenal. So he'll be coming in, and yeah, he's 18 years old. He's one for the future. You know I like a free signing for one for the future. And yeah, that's pretty much about it. In terms of staffing, we're there on staff. We can still recruit another recruitment analyst and scout, but our coaching is the best in the league, bar defending, which I presume PSG. Oh no, Nice are top of that one. And man management, we are second, and Nice are top of that one as well. We've got the best scouting, not that you'd believe it, and the best medical team in the league. I'm very happy with that. In terms of how I think this season is going to go, I'm nervous. I don't mind admitting I am very nervous about this season, because if we don't get top 4, we probably are going to get sacked. And that would be the first sacking on my record for the whole of FM24. So yeah, I am very nervous. Right, that's the end of today's video. I hope you've enjoyed it. It's been a real tough one to put together, so please leave a like on the video. Comment as well what you think of our new signings, of whether you agree or disagree with the players we sold. And I'll see you tomorrow for the first 2 games of the season with AS Monaco.